Sri Lanka is often called the teardrop of India because its shape on the world map resembles a teardrop. While the name may sound somber, the country itself is brimming with joy. The smiles and warmth of Sri Lankan women are unforgettable, genuine, welcoming, and always eager to connect. If you're a tea lover, Sri Lanka is a must-visit to experience its world-famous tea culture. It's also home to a sacred Bodhi tree that has stood for over 2,200 years, a symbol of its deep spiritual heritage. And here's a fun fact. In Sri Lanka, hotels aren't always places to sleep. Get ready to be amazed and intrigued by 18 fascinating facts about Sri Lanka that you may not know. Some would just take your breath away. Sri Lanka is affectionately called the Pearl of the Indian Ocean and the Teardrop of India. The name Pearl of the Indian Ocean likely reflects this small island's stunning natural beauty, unique biodiversity, and its wealth of precious gemstones. The nickname Teardrop of India comes from its teardrop shape and its location just off India's southern coast, easily noticeable on a map. Interestingly, Sri Lanka remains a lesser-known gem. Many people haven't heard much about it, and only a modest number of travelers venture here. Being an island, getting there typically means catching a flight. Covering over 65,000 square kilometers, this island nation is alive with vibrant culture and bustling life. Home to more than 23 million people, Sri Lanka's rich ethnic diversity includes Sinhalese, Tamil, Moorish, and several other groups, making it a fascinating tapestry of traditions and customs. Sri Lanka's colonial history has deeply shaped its culture and economy. Even today, remnants of this legacy can be found beyond Colombo, providing a glimpse into the island's past. The colonial period began in the early 1500s under Portuguese rule. Later, the Dutch governed for nearly 150 years, until the British seized control in the early 1800s. Under British rule, Sri Lanka, then known as Ceylon, experienced major economic transformations, especially through the creation of vast tea, coffee, and rubber plantations. These industries remained critical to Sri Lanka's economy. After independence, Sri Lanka faced waves of economic and social challenges. Tensions between Tamil and Sinhalese communities, among others, disrupted both economic progress and social cohesion. These struggles culminated in 2022 when the country faced severe debt, causing difficulties in importing essentials like fuel. If you've made it this far, we hope you're enjoying this journey into Sri Lanka's history. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. It only takes 5 seconds, and we have plenty more fascinating stories to share. Now, let's explore the captivating world of tea together. If you're a tea lover, there's a good chance your cup came from Sri Lanka, a country once called Ceylon, a name forever linked with tea. The British brought the first tea plant to the island in 1824, transporting it from China. This historic plant was displayed in the Royal Botanical Gardens near Kandy, laying the foundation for what would become a thriving industry. Today, this teardrop-shaped island remains one of the world's top tea producers and exporters, with over 1 million of its 23 million citizens working in tea production. For tea enthusiasts visiting Sri Lanka, the Salon Tea Museum, located just 4 kilometers south of Kandy, is an essential stop. It's the perfect spot to sip a cup of exceptional tea while delving into the fascinating history of Sri Lanka's tea industry. The museum showcases exhibits honoring tea pioneers like James Taylor and Thomas Lipton, whose efforts made tea a beloved ritual in homes across the United Kingdom. When you visit Sri Lanka, you'll often be met with warm smiles and genuine hospitality, not only in popular tourist spots but also in small towns and rural villages. Sri Lankans deeply value community, respect, and kindness, and they will go out of their way to assist anyone in need. Children are everywhere, curious and quick to greet foreigners with laughter and wide-eyed wonder. If you offer them a piece of chocolate or a small gift, their joy is infectious, creating moments you'll never forget. Sri Lankan women are renowned for their unique and captivating beauty. Their charm is more than skin deep, radiating from their confidence and graceful demeanor. Many have a healthy brown complexion, thick black hair, and deep, expressive eyes that reflect the timeless allure of South Asian women. On special occasions, Sri Lankan women often wear the traditional sari, a long, flowing garment wrapped elegantly around the body. These saris are usually adorned with vibrant colors and intricate patterns, emphasizing both their beauty and dignity. This traditional attire complements their graceful movements and highlights their inner poise. What makes Sri Lankan women even more endearing is their gentle and welcoming nature. Polite, warm-hearted, and gracious, they exude kindness in every interaction, leaving a lasting impression on those who meet them. Sarah from Canada shared her experience. At a wedding in Kandy, I saw Sri Lankan women in their traditional saris for the first time. The vibrant designs and intricate patterns were breathtaking. Each woman carried herself with such elegance and charm. They shared stories about their culture, making me feel included in a way I never expected. Daniel from Germany had a similar story. I stayed at a family-run guest house in Galle, where the hosts were incredibly welcoming. They offered tea and homemade snacks daily. One evening, the mother of the house dressed me in a traditional sarong for a cultural event. She patiently taught me how to wrap it while laughing with me as I struggled. It was an unforgettable experience that made me feel truly connected to their way of life. Have you experienced similar moments during your travels when a culture's warmth and charm left a deep impression on you? Or if you're planning a trip to Sri Lanka, what are you most looking forward to? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. In most cultures, people nod their head to say yes and shake their head to say no. However, in Sri Lanka, it's quite the opposite. To indicate agreement or say yes, Sri Lankans shake their head from side to side in a gesture that might confuse outsiders at first. Oliver from New Zealand shared his experience. During my first few days in Sri Lanka, I was completely baffled by the head gestures. I stopped a local to ask for directions and he began shaking his head from side to side. Thinking this meant no, I started walking away. He quickly stopped me, laughed, and pointed me in the right direction, explaining that the gesture actually meant yes. By the end of my trip, I was so used to it that I started using the head shake myself. While traveling in Sri Lanka, you might spot signs labeled hotel, but don't be surprised if it's not a place to spend the night. In Sri Lanka, it's common for restaurants, cafes, and bars to be called hotels. The exact reason for this is unclear, but if you ask the locals, they'll probably say it's just a quirky trend. Sophie and Jack from Canada shared their experience. We were exploring Jaffna and looking for a place to stay. We saw a sign for Seaside Hotel and walked in, thinking it was accommodation. Instead, we were handed a menu. The staff laughed as we explained our confusion and told us it's normal for cafes and restaurants to use the word hotel in Sri Lanka. After that, it became a fun joke for us whenever we saw another hotel sign. Have you ever confused a hotel during your travels in Sri Lanka? Drop a yes or no in the comments below and share your story. Sri Lanka's economy is a vibrant mix of agriculture, tourism, and traditions that are deeply connected to its breathtaking natural surroundings. Let's explore the fascinating lifelines that sustain this island nation, from its famous tea fields to its enduring fishing heritage. Sri Lanka is globally celebrated for its exceptional tea, ranking among the world's top exporters alongside industry giants like China and India. Rice, a staple of Sri Lankan cuisine, is cultivated widely across the island's plains and forms a daily part of nearly every household's meals. Fishing is an integral part of Sri Lanka's coastal culture. Along the shores, you'll find colorful boats of every size, reflecting the deep bond between the sea and local communities. These hard-working fishers spend long hours under the tropical sun, their sun-kissed skin telling stories of a life lived by the waves. Tourism is making a strong comeback in Sri Lanka, attracting travelers with its stunning beaches, ancient temples, rolling tea plantations, and lively festivals. "Are you a Buddhist?" is a common greeting in Sri Lanka, where nearly 70% of the population follows Buddhism. The island is dotted with temples, easily recognized by their pristine white paint, and Bodhi trees planted at their entrances. Buddhism was introduced to Sri Lanka in the 3rd century BCE, and for more than 2,000 years it has been deeply woven into the island's identity as the state religion. Almost every landmark and cultural site in this teardrop of India carries a connection to Buddhism. Among the most revered Buddhist sites is the sacred Bodhi tree, cherished by Sri Lankans. This ancient tree, over 2,200 years old, is a branch from the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, where Prince Siddhartha meditated for 49 days and attained enlightenment, becoming the Buddha. Another iconic site is the Dambulla Rock Temple, the largest and best-preserved rock temple complex in Sri Lanka. Towering 160 meters above the surrounding plains, it features over 80 caves. For art lovers, the 5 main caves, spanning 2,000 square meters, are a treasure trove of statues and paintings illustrating the Buddha's life in vivid detail. Buddha statues, often encased in glass frames, can also be found on street corners and in public spaces, adding a serene and spiritual presence to everyday life across Sri Lanka. Curry is a cornerstone of Sri Lankan cuisine. It's common to see banners outside restaurants proudly announcing curry buffet available here at any time of the day, whether it's breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, or dinner. The vibrant colors and bold, spicy aroma of curry fill the air. From intimate family meals to large celebrations, curry is a constant presence on the table. For visitors, the unforgettable blend of rich spices and flavors creates a one-of-a-kind culinary experience. The taste of Sri Lankan curry lingers in the memory long after the first bite, leaving a lasting impression that's impossible to forget. Sri Lanka boasts a vibrant handicraft tradition that showcases its rich cultural heritage and artistic talent. Local artisans, often working in small, family-owned workshops, create stunning works by carving and painting wood, transforming it into unique souvenirs and cultural artifacts. Each piece carries a story, drawing inspiration from the island's deep history, mythology, and religious symbolism. Among the most popular crafts are hand-carved masks, intricate wooden sculptures, and finely painted pottery. Artisans skillfully use local woods like teak and mahogany, applying natural dyes and traditional painting methods passed down through generations. These exquisite crafts are often found in lively marketplaces or purchased directly from small village workshops, serving as both a livelihood and a cherished tradition for the artisans. When buying these items, haggling is not only common but welcomed. Typical asking prices range from 200,000 to 400,000 Indonesian rupiah, though skilled negotiation can bring the price down significantly. Keep in mind that Sri Lanka's average income is modest, with the minimum wage currently around 26,000 Sri Lankan rupees, equivalent to roughly 1.2 million Indonesian rupiah. Sri Lanka is renowned for hosting the largest elephant gathering in the world. Nicknamed The Gathering, this extraordinary event takes place annually in Minaria National Park. During the dry season, over 300 elephants converge at the park's water tank to drink, bathe, and graze on the freshly grown grass. It's like an enormous elephant celebration, where you can see matriarchs caring for their young alongside bull elephants seeking mates. This breathtaking spectacle is undoubtedly one of the most unforgettable experiences Sri Lanka has to offer. If you're visiting during August or September, make sure to explore Minaria National Park when the gathering reaches its peak. Colombo, the vibrant capital of Sri Lanka, sits along the island's western coast, seamlessly blending modernity with rustic charm. From above, it appears like any bustling metropolis, with a skyline of towering buildings and busy streets. Yet Colombo carries a unique character shaped by its history, culture, and deep connection to nature. Just outside its urban center, you'll find tranquil beaches where cows rest peacefully on the sand, a scene that reflects the Sri Lankan reverence for these gentle creatures. Geographically, Colombo is incredibly close to India, with the shortest stretch of sea between the two countries measuring just 34 kilometers. One of the city's most striking landmarks is the Lotus Tower, an elongated, oval-shaped observation tower. This iconic structure is a must-see for visitors, offering not only its distinctive architecture, but also breathtaking panoramic views of the city and coastline from its soaring heights. Opened as a major tourist attraction, the tower showcases Colombo's modern skyline set against the shimmering backdrop of the Indian Ocean. Beyond the city's busy streets, Colombo offers glimpses of Sri Lanka's natural richness. Monkeys and other wildlife can often be spotted on the city's outskirts, where the rustic charm of the countryside begins to blend with the energy of urban life. Sri Lanka's cultural differences between its northern and southern regions are captivating, shaped by distinct histories and traditions. The northern areas, primarily inhabited by Tamils, share strong ties with southern India, particularly Tamil Nadu. These similarities span language, cuisine, and customs, forming a cultural bridge that has grown over centuries. In contrast, the southern regions are predominantly Sinhalese, leading to noticeable differences in traditions, lifestyles, and even daily habits. The Tamil community in Sri Lanka has deep historical roots, with their ancestors migrating from southern India generations ago. However, after Sri Lanka gained independence, complex residency issues resulted in about 600,000 Tamils being repatriated to India. Despite this, many Tamil families remain and have made significant contributions to the country's cultural and linguistic identity. Today, Tamil and Sinhala are both official languages, reflecting the nation's rich multicultural heritage. Visitors can witness this diversity in everyday conversations, vibrant festivals, and the dialects heard in bustling markets and small towns. Transportation in Sri Lanka is a blend of tradition and convenience. In cities, tuk-tuks or three-wheelers are the go-to choice for quick trips. In Colombo, these nimble vehicles zip through traffic effortlessly and are a common sight on busy streets. For longer journeys, the iconic blue buses and vintage trains are popular options. Though the buses might appear worn, some being decades old, they are reliable and affordable, offering a quintessential Sri Lankan travel experience. One of the most cherished ways to explore Sri Lanka is by train. The scenic routes from Colombo to the Central Highlands or along the coastline provide breathtaking views of lush tea plantations, dense forests, and rugged cliffs. Travelers often lean out of train windows, capturing the stunning landscapes as they pass. This unhurried pace allows visitors to connect deeply with the island's natural beauty and tranquil rhythm. Colombo also offers glimpses into Sri Lanka's religious diversity, with landmarks like the Red Mosque standing out. This striking architectural marvel serves the Muslim community and symbolizes the country's vibrant Islamic heritage, inviting visitors to explore its beauty and cultural significance. Sri Lanka's beaches offer a unique escape from crowded tourist hotspots, blending the tranquility of nature with the rhythm of local life. Along the coastline, traditional fishing boats line the sands, and fishermen can often be seen casting nets or using the distinctive stilt fishing technique, where they balance on tall poles anchored near the shore. The connection with marine life adds another layer of wonder to these beaches. During the warmer months, crabs, turtles, and other sea creatures occasionally venture onto the sand, creating moments that are both fascinating and unexpected. While some tourists find these natural interactions enchanting, others may consider them unusual, leading them to choose more conventional beach destinations. This keeps Sri Lanka's shores relatively quiet, making them perfect for those seeking solitude and a deeper bond with nature. On the southern coast, facing the vast Indian Ocean, professional surfers are drawn to the powerful waves that provide challenging breaks. These beaches have become a haven for seasoned surfers looking for raw, untamed adventures. Nearby, visitors can find accommodations that blend comfort with natural beauty. Surrounded by lush greenery and local wildlife, these hotels offer more than just a place to stay. Guests can enjoy pools, Sri Lankan hospitality, and guided jeep tours into the surrounding countryside for a taste of local life away from the shore. Daily life in Sri Lanka is a harmonious mix of tradition and simplicity, reflected in its architecture, bustling streets, and the steady rhythm of everyday activities. In Sri Lankan cities, buildings often have a modest, weathered appearance with faded facades that tell the story of years spent under the tropical sun. Most structures are low-rise, designed for practicality in a warm climate, favoring open, breezy spaces over towering skyscrapers. The streets are a hive of activity, but you'll notice far fewer cars compared to Western cities. Instead, motorcycles and compact vehicles rule the roads, zipping through narrow lanes lined with small local shops. Many Sri Lankans run family-owned businesses, from colorful fruit stands to inviting tea stalls. These shops are more than just places to buy goods. They're social hubs where locals gather, chat, and exchange news, creating a sense of close-knit community that defines the essence of daily life in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's festivals and traditional beliefs provide a fascinating window into a society deeply connected to its spiritual heritage. With more than 25 unique festivals held each year, Sri Lankan life is rich with rituals and celebrations, many rooted in religious practices and seasonal transitions. These vibrant events highlight the country's devotion, creativity, and strong sense of community, often surprising visitors with their depth and originality. One of the most distinctive rituals occurs during Sri Lanka's New Year festival, where participants express gratitude by rolling on the ground around temples. This act, symbolizing humility and reverence for divine forces, is believed to bring good fortune in the year ahead. While younger Sri Lankans often engage in these traditions with a playful attitude, older generations observe them with deep respect, preserving customs handed down through the ages. Another renowned event is the Asala Perahera in Kandy, a magnificent 10-day festival featuring processions of dancers, drummers, and elaborately adorned elephants. Centered on honoring the sacred tooth relic of Buddha, the Perahera is a dazzling display of faith and artistry. It draws locals and travelers alike who gather to witness this breathtaking celebration of Sri Lanka's cultural and spiritual heritage. Hidden deep within Sri Lanka's dense forests, far from the reach of modern society, lives the fascinating Veta Tribe. As one of the last traces of Sri Lanka's ancient civilizations, the Veta people lead a way of life that has remained virtually unchanged for centuries. Their existence is deeply tied to the land, depending on the forest to provide food, shelter, and all the essentials of survival. The Veta are easily recognized by their simple attire, often consisting of cloth wraps and handmade accessories, as well as the tools they carry, bows, arrows, and spears crafted for hunting and gathering. Living without the conveniences of modern society, they roam the forests and rely on traditional methods to meet their daily needs. Beyond hunting, the Veta are skilled foragers, collecting medicinal plants and edible roots from the forest. Their extensive knowledge of the natural environment allows them to thrive, using herbs for healing and relying on the ecosystem for sustenance. Their diet is shaped by what the forest provides, showcasing an intimate understanding of the land that supports them. Although the Veta are not entirely isolated, their interactions with neighboring villages are limited. Some members of the tribe trade forest products for basic goods, but they remain cautious of external influences, striving to protect their unique culture and traditions. Between May and September, Sri Lanka's south and west coasts are affected by the southwest monsoon, bringing heavy rains and rough seas. Meanwhile, the northern and eastern regions remain dry and pleasant. From November to March, the pattern shifts as the northeast monsoon arrives, soaking the north and east while the south and west enjoy their sunniest and driest weather. Monsoon rains in Sri Lanka are often unpredictable, with short, intense downpours followed by extended periods of hot, sunny skies. For travelers, visiting during the rainy off-seasons can be surprisingly rewarding. Fewer tourists mean quieter attractions, and hotel rates tend to drop significantly, making it an ideal time for those seeking a more relaxed and budget-friendly experience. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you want to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks for joining us. Leave a comment, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting videos. See you in the next video.